Hello everyone, this is Matthew Tucker. Welcome to another tutorial in the Bifrost rigging module series. In today's video, we're covering how a Bifrost rigging module is integrated into Maya. Bifrost rigging modules are tightly integrated into Maya. You can expose modules' inputs and outputs directly into your scene, generate native Maya controls and joints, and even manipulate rig behavior through shelf tools or commands. For example, if I was to go up to Window, Node Editor, select my Bifrost graph, and expose it in the node editor, select the shape, the inputs of our Bifrost graph are exposed within the node editor into the rest of Maya. So if I wanted to go in here and manually change pin names or even pin matrices, I could do just that. If I wanted to intercept the outputs of my Bifrost graph, that is all exposed as well. From the joint transformations to the controls, even any custom information I happen to output from my Bifrost will be exposed here in the shape node. And if I was to display the connections from my Bifrost graph shape, you can see the outputs of the Bifrost shape are being used to drive the joints and controls within the scene itself. Now you'll find all the tools you need for Bifrost in the Bifrost rigging menu at the top or in the Bifrost shelf. Now with the Create Rig from modules, let's go to the options. Say you want to see updates in real time. Use the Sync Container mode. When Bifrost modules change, the rig is automatically rebuilt. Now going into the rig options, there's two different setup methods, cycle-free and native. Let's start with the native. If I was to create that real quick, we'll see the controls and joints exist as native Maya transforms, and they operate as intended. Even if I was to hold down the translate key, which is W, switch it to world translate, the manipulator updates to respect that new option. Now let's delete that, switch to cycle-free mode. So in cycle-free mode, there is a second set of operators created for each joint and each control. Now, there will be some interesting behavior. So if I select my root control and then try to manipulate it, it switches to the operator. And if I move it around and rotate it, it operates as intended. Now, if you ever want to change it automatically selecting the operator when you're trying to select controls or joints, and the selection rerouting behavior, it is now set to on tool active. If I was to set that to off, it does not automatically select that operator. But if I was to set it to always, it will automatically select that operator. And then going back to on tool active, if I just have selection mode, it will allow me to select the joints and controls and not switch. And then as soon as I switch to a manipulator, like translate, it will then select the operator for you. Now the advantage of the cycle-free mode is that it's faster because it eliminates scene evaluation overhead from Maya. Now one final thing of note in the rig options, if I flatten the controls and flatten the joints and create a new graph, we can see the joints and controls are no longer direct parents of each other, which is great for speed, but unfortunately it will make exporting your skeleton a little bit more difficult, and you can no longer pick walk your joints or controls. Now going back to the Bifrost rigging menu, if I select the Optimize module, it will go through my whole graph and disable all debug menus and turn off the edit mode and perform a profile evaluation to make your Maya scene much faster. In the module terminals, I can click enable, and that will turn the debug mode on for all the modules in your scene. Now, if I wish to disable that, I can use the module terminals disable or go back and optimize the modules again. Now, one final tip is that you can actually create and connect multiple Bifrost graphs. This helps with parallelization. Now let's create a new Bifrost graph. We'll do that by going up to Create, New Graph. Let's add the simple FK module that we made earlier and connect the inputs and outputs to the compounds. Now we want the parent of this new module that we'll call new test, and we want the parent of it to be a module from another graph, specifically the root module. So in order to do that, I'm going to take the parents connection and hook that up into the input compound. With that done, let's select both our graphs and bring them up in the node editor. So with both the graphs shown, you can see there's the parent's input connection that I had just made. Let's take the root outputs, connect it to the parent's input. With that done, we'll go to the Bifrost rigging menu and create a new module, our new rig. With that done, we can now see we have a new test control. Let's actually move the pin so we can make it a little bit more obvious. And now the root is driving both simple FKs and two separate Bifrost graphs. So not only is the Bifrost rigging module system powerful and procedural, you can still take advantage of many of the native features within Maya. This makes it an easy opportunity to integrate this system into your workflows. Thank you so much.